I just gotta say, the Beyhive is, they're stressful. They're amazing, but they are stressful.
Well, congratulations. We're celebrating the Oscar nomination. Have you gotten used to the term Oscar nominee and then your name?
No, I haven't. I mean, every day it's something new,
Yeah.
but it all starts with Oscar-nominated songwriter, singer, Dixson, and it still feels unreal, honestly.
A little bit of a pinch me surreal kind of journey you've been on, I'm sure.
Yeah, it seems like it was just yesterday. I was like fully in my bedroom making music, and now to be at this stage of my career, and what I would say is like pretty early for my career.
Early understatement.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing music a long time, but I still consider it pretty early for me.
Yeah.
And this is a huge deal to me.
I want to talk about the beginning of your journey.
Okay.
You started out, I mean, you've been making music for a long time, but you started out with this specific connection, sending Beyonce a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear back from her, or was it kind of just like you sent her some stuff, didn't hear from her, and then she hit you up for this collaboration?
I've been sending stuff for a while, I'm not gonna lie. I would always get notes back from people on her team.
Yep.
Which, I mean, super professional, like one of the best experiences I've had as a songwriter and producer. But I hadn't heard, you know, anything from her directly. Mm-hmm. And then I got the note that I might have this thing to work on for a film for her, and it felt like a real thing. And so instantly I got nervous.
As one would.
Because I was like, okay, I've been sending things, but never have I been in the room with her. I haven't played her anything. Like everything that, from what I knew, was happening virtually. So like, and we were in the middle of, you know, like pandemic. I've been sending records in the middle of the pandemic, so I really wasn't in the room with her. And I got an opportunity to make the song and play her the demo in person, and I did not look at her one time during the playback. I couldn't. I was like, I was nervous, I was scared I might like make a false move, like press the wrong button or something, like, so I just stayed pretty still. But I could feel the energy in the room, and when the song was over, I did turn around and look, you know, looking for notes or any type of reaction, and she was so positive about it. Obviously, she's a perfectionist, so she had notes immediately, and we just kind of went down the rabbit hole to figure it out. And she rewrote things and reproduced things, and that's how we got to where we are right now.
That collaboration process, I'm married to a musician and songwriter producer, and I know how intimate that process is and how personal it is. It can be intimidating, it can be, you have to be very vulnerable when you're telling stories. What was that like to see the Beyonce in this kind of laid back, kind of intimate setting of like, she's fixing things and songwriting and tweaking? What was that experience like?
I mean, a lot of times with celebrities, you don't expect them to be human, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think making things and being creative is a very quick way to find out that we're just humans.
Yeah.
We take a lot of this stuff very personally, and it's our craft, so it means something to us, so we hold it very close. So to get notes in real time, it just felt, you know, it brought me up to her level and made me feel like she was not really coming down to my level, but it made me feel like we were peers to get real time notes from, because I mean she's Beyonce, you know, so that's really, it showed me that making music and making art is a very human experience, and it doesn't matter at which level you're working at, the highest to the low, it all boils down to this human experience that we share.
Right.
And what's beautiful about the song is that I originally wrote my portion of the song from my perspective, and having a father and parents who really believed in what I could accomplish, and they facilitated that. They created an environment for it. And then I started thinking about the stories that I had heard about her growing up in the music business, and her having parents that did the exact same thing. They created a world for her to exist in so that she could be herself and be her best self, and you get results in that way. And so I think the song just, it's true in so many areas, you know, of both of our lives, that it makes sense that it resonated with her in this way.
And also, I'm sure, to see her perform, obviously you saw her in studio perform the song, but to see her on stage perform it in front of a room of the best of the best, that would be a very pinch me moment. So I'm crossing my fingers and toes for that
I just got anxiety thinking about that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I gotta call my therapist and be like, listen, talk me through this, because one, the cameras will be on me. I cannot be a ball of tears the whole night.
I mean, it'll be great TV if you are.
It would be, but I can't do that. I gotta hold it down. I gotta hold it down for, like, yeah.
Well, I also, not to throw more at you.
No, please,
more pressure.
I'm here.
Okay, but this is your first Oscar nomination, but this is also Beyonce's first Oscar nomination. So knowing where Beyonce's at in her career and where you're at in your career, have you like let that sink in too? That you're a part of Beyonce's first Oscar nomination?
Not really. I haven't let it sink in. I mean, listen, my manager's here. He can corroborate this story.
Yeah.
I am a workaholic. I love the work. So I'm not great at stopping and taking a moment to like soak it all in. But I do recognize this. I don't believe that it'll be my last time at the Oscars or anything. I don't believe, like, this is just the first of hopefully many. But I think for somebody who's worked as hard and as long as Beyonce, this is huge.
Big moment.
You know, in my head, I've got in like with a fluke, you know, I'm still not believing that, you know, it's a thing. But for her, I think this moment is the culmination of a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And I don't have to talk about it. Anybody who's ever seen her perform live or listen to an album, like, you hear the work, and you see the work. So I feel like it's crazy to think that I'm sharing this moment with her. She could have chosen a gang of any producer or songwriters to share this moment with, and so like I said, I'm very grateful that this is our thing, and it is my first thing. But man, like, I mean, this lady has been in movies and has sang in musicals and had, you know, other other castmates get nominated for an Oscar, and she didn't. And like, I think this is a huge deal, and to be nominated where you've worked the hardest too, because yes, we've seen her on screen as an actress, but also she's been in the music business since she was 16. And so to be nominated at this, you know, category it's got to be crazy. I got to ask her how she feels about that. But
and you will. I'm sure you'll get your time too. I mean, right now
I want to interview her and ask her, like, what does this mean for you? You know,
I want to interview her too. So, you know, if you want to just have like a full interview, we can sit down. Etalk will be there. Canada will be supporting it. What is it about the song, that you think people on a global perspective outside of the film can connect to?
There are lines in the song that are pointed, you know, directly to the story, right? Like, not everybody can say, like, couldn't wipe this black off if I tried, but a lot of people, and I've been saying this everywhere, a lot of people can say, even on good and bad days, the opening line, "It feels so good to be alive," can serve as a mantra on those good and bad days. On my toughest days, sometimes I'll hear the song and I'll be like, man, I needed to hear that, because in spite of everything that's happening around my world, I should be able to see the good in the adversity, right? And on good days, it just feels like a song that I can celebrate to. And I think that's the universal message, that there's always something to celebrate. I think we look for the big accomplishments, right? But the micro accomplishments that happen every day, like waking up and being healthy and being safe and feeling secure and being in the right mental state of mind, those are small victories that a lot of times we take for granted. And I think that was the reason why that first line just resonated with me personally. Wow. Because at the time, it was difficult for me to say that to myself. I had just lost my father, which was a big deal to me. Yeah. And so I had to tell myself things like that every day to like keep going and keep pushing toward, you know, a goal. I mean, some mornings it was just difficult to accomplish one goal, let alone all the goals I needed to accomplish to be successful. But that writing that line has really served as a mantra for me, just on a personal note. And it was my hope that it resonated with people the same way, you know.
In some ways, is this song a dedication to your father?
I've been, man, ever since he passed away, I feel like I find moments in my life where little pieces just feels like, you know, a dedication to him. We put out a song about a year after he passed away called Big Brave Man, and that's like the full dedication. Yeah. But my dad was a musician too, amateur musician, but very good. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of, I see so much of myself like through him. Yeah, I mean, I go back and look at photos or listen to videos, and I'm like, man, one, as I get older, I'm starting to look so much more like him. And I didn't understand when I was a kid that I looked like him as a kid, but now I see it and I'm like, oh my God, I'm turning into him. And then the way I just process things, I just remember, especially in the last few years, talking with him, like the way I process things is a lot like him. He had what I would consider like the most optimistic outlook on life that I've ever encountered. And his family, I mean, his mother and father and grandparents were sharecroppers, and like he lived a pretty tough life, but for him to have this optimistic view on things, I'm noticing in my life that I'm slowly becoming him.
So much of him is in you. And I think that's something that I'm sure there's a lot of emotions you're having this week, but
oh yeah, for sure. I haven't really like tapped in with those. I probably should call my therapist and just like prepare myself
Talk yourself through it.
For all of it. But I haven't tapped in with those emotions yet. It's shocking on most days that this kid from Southwest Atlanta, like that's kind of how I still see myself in this childlike way. That this kid from Southwest Atlanta is having these type of interviews and talking about a song he did with Beyonce. I'm very humbled by that. And then the other successes in my life, like finishing albums and being signed to Jay-Z and all of the crazy things that have happened in my life that honestly, I'm a pretty confident guy, but I couldn't believe it. And if I had to go back and convince my younger self that this would be the case, it would be an argument. Like we'd be like, nah, this is not happening right now. And I feel like that every day. And that's just, I don't know, gratitude is a cornerstone of my life. And I think people who come around me can really feel that I'm grateful for the moment. Yeah. And I'm not perfect, so I don't always seize every moment. But
that's human.
I'm also human, but I am grateful for each moment I get to do this thing, because a lot of kids, where I come from, it seems like an impossibility for a lot of people, and so I feel blessed to be able to do this, man. Like, this is my job. I don't even, like, it's crazy.
I feel the same way, but it's funny. I've known you now for all of 15 minutes, and I can already feel how humble and grateful you are. I mean, I hope you never forget the younger self, and you always keep him in mind, because these moments, you've worked extremely hard to get here. And every step, every move you made, every sacrifice you made, working and stuff, is all for this moment and then more to come. And this is just opening up so many more doors for you.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
a wild roller coaster you're going to be on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about after the win. After the Oscars, I'm so excited for you. I'm geeking out. But after the win, what's going to happen? What do you think? Or after the Oscars, what do you got planned? I hear there's some tour coming down the pipeline. Yeah,
there is some tour. I am finishing up my next body of work as a solo artist, and so the plan is to release that. I am going to be going on tour. I'm opening for an amazing artist, Rotimi, and I'm very excited about that. I haven't been on the road as a solo artist in a very long time, and so I'm just preparing my body, preparing my mind, preparing my voice, and trying to put on the best 30-minute set I can. I love to perform, and I think I might have one of the best shows in my genre. So I'm very excited to show that to the world. People are, I mean, because of the Beyonce thing, my phone is ringing, you know, for songs. But I got into this business because I love to sing, and I can't wait to share that with people. So. Congratulations on everything. We are going to continue to follow you and look forward to all the new releases and the new journeys you're going to be going on. I mean, keep in touch and best of luck on Sunday. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm nervous for you. I'm nervous too. Don't worry, I'm nervous too. I've been doing so good not thinking about it, and then this week, first off, I just gotta say the Beyhive is. They're stressful. They're amazing, but they are stressful. Because I don't respond to any. I've learned these days, just no response is sometimes the best response. But they are on top of everything. Everything you say. Everything I say, every interview I do, and I'm like, every time I open Twitter, it's really Twitter where I get stressed out. Somebody is retweeting or finding an article that I didn't even know that I did, I just had to turn Twitter off. My assistant was like, "Yeah, just for a while, just don't even go. Don't go in that space." I love them. The fans are amazing. They know everything, but it's intense. This is my first foray into the Beyhive, but it's an intense world. So I've been trying to avoid them for a little bit. I hope they don't feel left out. But we love you, Beyhive. Oh, absolutely. They're the best. I haven't seen a group of fans more dedicated or committed. There isn't one. Yeah. Now I'm going to get all the other groupings after me because I said that. But the Beyhive is a unique it's a unique group. Tribe, and they believe in one Beyonce. Beyonce, the Queen Beyonce. Yeah. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Go have some fun. This is a wild time. It's gonna be a good weekend. I'm so excited. My whole family's coming out. It's gonna be fun. Thanks for watching Etalk. Make sure you hit subscribe for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news. And while you're here, why not watch another video? I know you want to.